All right, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Type S in the chat. Type an S in the chat if you can hear me and see my screen, please. We'll do a quick audio check. All right. Thank you, Lee, Walter, David, Jerry, Mark. Mark, got your emails today. I think my guy replied back to you. Let me know if you still want to get together. Thanks, Myron, Abe. All right, folks, let me make a couple of adjustments here and we will get this party started. It is 5 p.m. Eastern, about a minute after 4 Central here in my neck of the woods. We still got some folks shuffling in the door, so go ahead, get cozy, grab you something to drink, a snack, popcorn, whatever, and we'll be back here in about 30 or 45 seconds. All right, guys, I am back here and we're gonna go hit started. Hopefully you see the first slide here, hidden forces in the markets, and you see a big fat welcome. Do me one more favor, just give me one more confirmation here if you don't mind, that you can see everything, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Salmon, or if I hope I pronounced that correctly, says this door is closed and the snacks are ready. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started here. If you are here, you should be here to see hidden forces that generate explosive gains in any market. And really excited to be here. We did this yesterday evening, got invited back. Very pleased to do so. I really, truly enjoy this stuff. I love helping folks out. I love talking about this because it's stuff I actually believe in, stuff I actually use, unlike some other folks that just talk about it. I actually thoroughly enjoy it and have been utilizing these strategies and this methodology that I'm about to share with you. You're not going to find me have a dozen different tricks up my sleeve just because I don't need that. I do have a handful of core market principles and methodologies and strategies that I use. And this one that we're going to be talking about here momentarily is one of those top two. So if you are here, my name is Silas Peters, founder, head trader of Seasonal Swing Trader. So I do appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know some of us may have more time than others due to the circumstances. And so all joking and kidding aside, I hope everybody is staying safe, well, and sane in the current environment, both physically as well as in the market itself. But and what a great time to be talking about hidden forces that generate explosive gains, because we have obviously been seeing some extreme volatility across all markets, stocks, futures, Forex. And so I think you're going to like what we have to cover today. So let's go ahead and get started. If you've ever been on a call like this, it may be a little bit different because I really and truly do want to help you walk away with something you can begin applying immediately. And let's dip in with the risk disclaimer. We must always read this first, as required from our friends at the regulatory governing bodies and our attorneys that require us to share. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There is substantial risk of loss associated with trading. Only risk capital should be used to trade. You can lose money in trading, i.e. don't trade with your milk money, your mortgage money, your child's education funds. Only use risk capital. So where's everybody at? Where's everybody tuning in? I'd like to see who I'm talking to. I am in LA or Lower Alabama on the Gulf Coast. Hot and sunny. We've got people in Nashville, Washington State, Atlanta, Spain. Interesting. All right. Montreal, Omaha, Jordan. I think you may have been in one of my others before. Otherwise, you may be my second Jordanian, if I said that correctly. New Zealand, LA, probably Los Angeles and not lower Alabama. Houston, North Carolina. Toronto, another North Carolina. Michigan. Awesome. Okay, cool. People from all over, I want to be respectful of your time. I don't have any idea what time it is in some of these places. So let's go ahead and get started. My goal for you is pretty simple. If you're a new trader looking for a simpler way, or a more experienced trader looking for a better way, or like everybody else looking for a more profitable and predictable way, you are on the right presentation because I have you covered. In fact, I have a promise for you. What is my promise? You're about to see how you can start experiencing explosive gains with your trades, all by paying attention to and trading in conjunction with the hidden forces that drive the markets. How explosive are we talking? That number will vary a lot, but in one of the case studies I'm going to share with you, we're going to talk about a trade that we caught that increased by nearly 42.5%. I know that that may sound like peanuts because people are always talking and sending out things about 1,000% trade and 2,000%. That's great. So 42.5% may not sound like much, but it equated to nearly 20,000 per contract, 20,000 US dollars per contract. In fact, we took the trade in our community, shared it amongst several free presentations, such as this one, and several people took action and did very well with it. And I found it all by using the strategy I'm going to be teaching you here momentarily. But I want you to stop and think about for a minute. Can you imagine what this kind of trading success would mean for you or your family, for their financial future? What would others say that you're doing this yourself? You're not depending on a broker. Would they respect you more? Would they look at you differently? Can you imagine what that would feel like? These are trades, folks, that can literally change your lifestyle. It's no joke. And so that's why this presentation is important. I really do believe what you're about to learn is going to help move you forward towards achieving that goal. So now is the time you want to shut everything down, remove all your distractions, close your door, get your snacks like salmon. That means closing your browser tabs, logging out of Facebook, putting your phone on mute. We're going to try to keep this contained to about 60 minutes or so. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to look at charts and look at trade ideas and things like that, answer all of your questions. So feel free to ask all you want. I will get to all the questions that I can, and we'll get through that. But let's get through the meat first. So I cannot guarantee that the technology, we are recording this. So just make sure you listen and take good notes. With all that aside, let me properly introduce myself again. My name is Silas Peters. Proud husband, also proud father to these beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauties on the right, standing there in front of my alma mater at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So 3 days after I graduated UA, I sold my car, packed up my small belongings, and I drove straight north to the great city of Chicago, the old Windy City. And it's here where I began to cut my teeth in the commodity markets working at the Chicago Board of Trade. And I was bitten by the trading bug, and I've never really looked back. So while there, I helped run a global trading desk, placing and managing books of trades across the Americas, Asia, and European sessions, primarily working with large block order flow for hedge funds, banks, CTAs, large force spec traders, other members of exchanges all over the world. I've also been a part of building and managing multiple futures and equity brokerage firms, managing operations, trading, back office sales and support, worked as a private family office investment consultant. I hold or have held these various futures and securities licenses. And then in 2016, I launched Seasonal Swing Trader. So it wasn't always easy. It wasn't always easy. We all know that. There was a learning curve. In fact, several obstacles and hurdles on the path to where I am today. The first step was obviously learning. School does not teach real life experience in the markets. In the beginning, I made money. In fact, I made a substantial amount of money. Was I lucky? I like to think that I was not, but ignorance and greed cost me my profits. I blew up an account, and in fact, I blew up a few others in what I like to call revenge trading. A lot of people can probably attest to that or are familiar with that. So I finally went back to my roots, settled down, worked my process, and found overall consistency. And after all that time working as a broker, trading for others, and now educating and supporting traders like yourself, made no mistake. I firmly believe that you can see success as a trader, but you're going to really need two key ingredients to make that happen. You're going to need a strategy to follow, nothing too complex, or you won't even bother with it, and you need to take action. It really is just that simple. Let me ask you an important question. Are you done? Are you done struggling and ready to experience some success and growth in your portfolio? Are you done spending hours upon hours of analyzing charts but never taking action? Are you done subscribing to dozens of expensive newsletters promising some hidden secret but never even having the time to read them all? So let me see where you're at in the comments. Where is everybody at? Are you done? Does any of this apply to you? Good. So a lot of you are ready to get some big wins. And really, if you're here, you're willing to take the time out of your schedule to come on this presentation, I have a feeling that you are looking for a better way, perhaps a different or even an easier way than what you've been doing before. So that's what we're going to cover today, the easier way. And that's understanding that there are hidden forces in the markets. And when you learn how to leverage them, you can see some darn near explosive gains. And again, the strategy will work in any market, whether you trade stocks, options, futures, Forex, and more. So during this workshop, we're going to focus in on three big ideas that I really want you to pay attention to, because when you get these, it's going to be smooth sailing. The first one is the hidden in plain sight pattern most traders miss and how you can benefit from those immediately. Next, I want you to clearly understand what data you must focus on and what you can ignore so you can trade in confidence. And finally, I'm going to show you a way that will shorten the time you spend analyzing charts, all by utilizing a simple 3-point strategy. So forget about all the other noise. We're going to keep it straightforward and simple. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about the hidden in plain sight pattern most traders miss and how you can benefit from those immediately. What are these hidden forces in the market? Simply put, they are historical data patterns, also known as cyclical or seasonal markets, which have been scientifically proven to beat out every other traditional investment strategy. It's true, a recent study analyzed over 200 years of data across 68 markets where they reviewed the returns on several different investment strategies. Trading off of seasonality outperformed all other strategies, and not only outperformed them just by a bit, it outperformed them by a long shot. It's hard to beat 200 years of proof, so let's get into what these cyclical patterns actually are. Now, a market can be classified as seasonal when it has a unique or specific demand during different times of the year. Cyclical markets follow the general trajectory of the economy or are based on weather or planting seasons. A few other not so obvious factors that influence repeatable behavior include tax seasons and fiscal policies set by world governments, as well as the movement of large amounts of capital by other institutions, banks, hedge funds, and the like. And the most common denominator is that all of these markets and patterns are repeatable. They happen over and over again, like waves crashing on a shore. The key is knowing when that wave is coming in and then learning how to ride it. I've got one guy saying the voice sounds like a bad robot. So before we continue, I want to make sure the audio is good and clear on everybody's side. Don't want this to be a miserable experience for everybody. All right, my man JP, maybe it sounds like it's your connection. Everybody else is good. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. So let's look at some familiar examples. When do you think the price of Walmart is going to rally the most? Right after Thanksgiving. Why? Because there's so many Christmas sales that take place at that time. In fact, one of the very best trades you'll ever hear is to buy Walmart about 2 days before Thanksgiving and to sell 3 or 4 days later. Year after year, Walmart has almost always rallied at that time, and it makes sense. In fact, Walmart, like other retail stocks, will rally because of the Christmas sales that start on Black Friday right after Thanksgiving. Here's another example. Wheat is harvested in the fall, and people barbecue more pork and beef in the summer. What do you think that does to the price of those commodities? They tend to rise. Here's another example. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola Classic, KO, also rallies more in the summer than in the winter because people drink more Coke in the summer months. So whatever your market is, you can find its seasonal pattern. In fact, if you want to know the best time to buy or sell or be out of your favorite market, it's wise to know its seasonal pattern. And here's some proof of KO rallying in its methodical and predictable fashion, like it does year after year following a cyclical seasonal pattern. So let's look at the case study I mentioned in the beginning so you can see exactly what I'm referring to. Here is a weekly chart of crude oil on a continuous contract basis. Excuse me, this chart dates all the way back to 2001. Notice all the little green circles on the chart. That's where I've highlighted these cyclical patterns that we've been talking about. And you can see for the last 18 years, from December 2001 to December 2019, crude oil has followed the same cyclical or seasonal pattern, which is driven by supply and demand. So it's pretty clear that crude, just like most other energies and energy stocks, classify as a seasonal market. So here's why this matters. Unlike what you may hear on the news from the talking heads or so some called expert, the demand for crude remains relatively stable throughout the year. However, it really starts to pick up as we enter the new year. To meet the upcoming demand of that time period, distributors will begin to stockpile supplies as early as January. So while refineries are shutting down briefly to prepare their supply, their doing so usually leads to an immediate boost in prices until the facilities are back in full operation, which is the cause of these explosive moves that we see on this chart. So enough about the fundamentals. Let's talk about the trading opportunity here and how it can benefit you. So we know that this is a consistent, predictable pattern that has held true for the last 18 years. Does that mean it's going to work this year, next year, or the year after? No. Nothing is guaranteed in life, and certainly not in trading. No one can predict the future, and you already know that. However, this is a high probability pattern, and it would be a smart trade to make, or at least to analyze. And I can guarantee you that I, as well as my members, we wait for this setup every year, because the good thing, it is only one market at only one time of the year. So if our goal is to simply try and stay on the winning side when we trade, making trades following historical and seasonal cycles that have proven themselves again and again is not only logical, it's just plain smart. And you may be wondering, what would you have pocketed from this trade? Well, of course, that all depends on what instrument you were trading, how many contracts, your account size, where you exited or managed your risk. The point is, did you know where the trend was likely headed? Did it get and keep you on the right side of the market? And the answer is a resounding yes. So to give you an idea here, in crude, each contract represents 1,000 barrels. Each tick or minimum move is a penny per barrel, or $10 per contract. So a full point movement equates to $1 per barrel, or $1,000 per contract. So think from $23 to $25 is $2,000. A move from 25 to 30 is $5,000, and so forth. So each of these four moves here were worth approximately $14,000 to $15,000 per contract. You can see that bad boy in the middle, respecting its trend line, moved up over $25,000 per contract. And similar moves have repeated themselves over the last 18 years. So with opportunities like this that appear over and over again, literally, does it make sense to trade with the cyclical or seasonal trend? The answer is, of course, yes. Now, you don't have to move the family to Chicago. You don't have to worry about crude being delivered on your front doorstep. You could have traded UCO, USO, multitude of other energy ETFs, both leveraged and unleveraged energy stocks, futures, options, CFDs, whatever your flavor is, whatever floats your boat. So you may be thinking, Silas, that sounds great, but it's easy for you because you know how to read those charts, what to look for. What do I need to focus on in order to find these patterns? That brings us to our second big idea of the presentation. That's understanding what data you must focus on and what you can ignore so you can continue to trade in confidence. Let's be honest here. There is a lot of information, a lot of techniques or quick fixes out there, and it's really easy to get overwhelmed and not know where to start. I've been there, been a victim of paralysis analysis. So before we even consider what you need to focus on, let's address what you need to ignore. Popular but completely unreliable sources of trading information include talking heads, planetary movements, market wizards, and of course, annoying neighbors. We're not going to trust our family's financial future with Ned Flanders. So the first step is to cut out the unnecessary noise. Then I want you to memorize and follow the focus formula. What the heck is the focus formula? It's X plus Y plus Z equals consistent profits, all the information you need. So let's dive into the focus formula. The first part that we've been talking about is historical data. That's just looking at the past in order to see the future. So the key things you want to pay attention to here are what time of year are we in, particular dates, what the stock, commodity, currency has done over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, and of course, global events that may be affecting the underlying. Hello, I mean, like right now, we have to be aware of the global events affecting the markets. Everybody is aware, but we have global events occurring all the time, around the clock, even when we sleep. We can't avoid everything. Some things are known, some things are not known, but we must be cognizant of things that can affect whatever market we are trading or analyzing. So you can literally shave years off your research process when you're aware of unique calendar windows. You probably heard it before, the Santa Claus rally, sell may go away, January barometer, first 5 days indicator. With the Santa Claus rally boosting stock prices into year end, we can check that off and turn our attention to the next calendar window. So knowing these specific times of these calendar windows, i.e. when to be long, when to be short, or perhaps even when to be flat, give you a huge edge in the market. You immediately have an edge over your Main Street buy and hold financial advisor that's sitting there twiddling their thumbs, stuck in high-low mutual funds, not knowing what to do. All they're told to do is to buy. So you can compare that with sectors using the same logic to figure out why the top performing sectors typically outperform the S&P 500 over the course of a year. Are you familiar with the term sector rotation? You can bet you know what the top institutional money managers, hedge funds, and pension funds do. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, of inflows and outflows at specific times of the year across these sectors. Because stocks, as they always do, follow money flows, and they fluctuate in ways that echo the past. Industries, why do you think real estate stocks thrive at specific times of the year? What about airline stocks? What about energy related stocks, home builder stocks? Your brain should be spinning like, oh yeah, of course, an almost aha moment, because we like the market move in cycles, predictable cycles, month after month, year after year. And that leads us to the last group, which is commodities, which in my opinion have even greater seasonal tendencies because they're markets that are tangible, physically consumed, grown, planted, harvested, are dependent on the worldwide supply, demand, and the weather at various times of the year. Think about cocoa in February, gold and silver in December, grains in the summer, meats in the summer. All right, so again, your mind should be spinning right there. Next part of the focus formula is technical analysis. And let me be honest with you once again. Using seasonality as a standalone tool to make investment decisions is not recommended. Is it powerful? Yes. Does it perform better than other strategies? Yes, we've already proved that. But I want you to look at seasonality as a useful analytical tool and use it in conjunction with fundamentals and technical analysis. So we know that we're looking, or we favor seasonal or cyclical patterns that are at least, display a 75, 80, 85% plus win rate. We also favor trading technical patterns that display the same type of success rate, 75, 80, 85 plus. We're talking time-tested seasonal patterns combined with time-tested technical patterns. Your chances of choosing a profitable trade are greatly enhanced when both of these methods of analysis are combined. So let's talk about some of these high probability technical patterns. Everybody is probably familiar with head and shoulders. This is technical analysis 101. Head and shoulders pattern, this is what it looks like. This is a daily chart of cocoa. Here we have a left shoulder, a neck, a head, a neck, and a right shoulder. Head and shoulders patterns don't appear all that frequently, but when they do, they're a high probability pattern. They appear in all time frames, in all markets. So we know we're looking to get short on breaks below the neckline. What about 1, 2, 3 tops and 1, 2, 3 bottoms? If you've been following any of my work for any amount of time, this is one of my bread and butter strategies. They occur a lot more frequently. Here we go on the same cocoa chart. 1, 2, 3 bottom. We're looking to get long on breaks above the number 2. We also have a 1, 2, 3 top embedded in the head and shoulders top. What about double tops and double bottoms? Here's a double top on a weekly chart of deer. Top and top, we know we're getting breaks, short on breaks below the W point, okay? Pennants, triangles, and wedges. Again, all markets, all time frames. Here is the same weekly chart of deer. Here is the triangle or wedge or pennant, whatever you want to call it. And we know that we're looking to get long on breaks above this level. And when you combine these high probability technical patterns and align those with high probability nature of historical price cycles, that's what we call putting the odds significantly in your favor. That brings us to the third part of the focus formula. That's good old-fashioned common sense. So I'm from Alabama. I believe in good old-fashioned common sense. Common sense would not tell you to randomly buy or sell a market just because of a date on the calendar. Common sense says while pizza stocks may be affected by the Super Bowl, you don't go betting the family farm on Papa John's stocks every February 1st. We must wait for the market to confirm that the seasonal or cyclical move is actually underway based on what the chart and markets are telling us. All right. And that's why I came up with the focus formula, because after spending years analyzing, researching, and trading the markets, I found that the closest thing to the ever elusive Holy Grail is to use plain and simple common sense in your approach to trading. We know that there are about as many indicators in the marketplace as there are cryptocurrencies. And you know what? Most of them are worthless. What you need is a high probability historical pattern confirmed by a high probability technical pattern paired with a level head of common sense. These three things are what I call the perfect marriage in trading and should help set you up for success in your approach. So here's the focus formula again. Write it down, tape it to your forehead, glue it to your desk. Historical data plus technical analysis plus common sense equals consistent profits. And that literally, folks, is all the information you need. So by now you may be thinking that sounds great, but how can I find those setups so quickly? Trust me, I hear you. Nobody likes to spend all day stuck behind their screen. And I don't know about you, I don't like scouring through hundreds of years of charts and data. So that brings us up to the third big idea, and that's how you can shorten the amount of time you spend analyzing the data and analyzing your charts. So now that you have your strategy in place, and now that you're ready to take action, what next? How do we even begin scouring through years or even decades of stocks, futures, currency, data patterns, cycles, etc.? What if there was a push button solution, literally a scan and go function that could lay out years of historical data for you on a silver platter? So type a 1 in the chat box if you'd like to see that opportunity. I'm going to take a swig of water here. Joseph says, show me the money. All right, awesome. A lot of ones coming in, excellent. So let's talk about the solution. I'm talking about literally a push button solution that delivers the following. The symbol, we sure would like to know what the hell we're trading, right? What about the bias? Do we want to be long? Do we want to be short? Do we even need to be in the market? What about the suggested entry date or suggested exit date? That sure would be handy. Talking about the three key things that provide a framework for my daily process and should really theoretically provide a framework for yours as well. So that's why we developed a scanner. It's called the smartMARKET scanner. We developed three versions here, one for stocks, futures, and Forex. We call it Smart Stocks, Smart Futures, and Smart Forex to allow technology to do the heavy lifting. So rather than manually looking through decades and decades of data trying to spot these patterns, we now have a tool that searches historical trends and patterns for us and locates setups that meet a certain criteria of success. Whether you trade stocks, futures, or Forex, ETFs, options, commodities, there now is literally a push button solution that you can utilize. So who here wants to dive in and see how this works? Let's go to the scanner. How do we do it? Let's walk through the process. The tool allows us to choose all of the key relevant information we need, like which month, which symbol, how long do we want to see the trend last? How often do we want to see the trend win? Do we only want to see bullish setups, bearish setups, or both? How long do we want to see the trend to be? A minimum of 7 days, 10 days, but no more than 20, 30, 40 days. We click the search button, and what would literally take years to deliver is now done in seconds. And you're not just limited to only a symbol, an entry date, and exit date. In fact, there's enough data there to create an entire computer model. But as I said before, I like to keep things simple. So let me show you how I use it and go through this key information together. Let's go to the software. All right, I'm going to need another confirmation here. As I said yesterday, last time I did this a while back, and it was a disaster because my screen froze up. So do me a favor and type in the chat if you can see the scanners. Can everybody see the scanners? All right. Sorry for all the confirmations. Just want to make sure we're flowing nicely. So we have futures, we have stocks, and we have Forex, okay? Smart futures, smart stocks, and smart Forex. So let's talk about what all of this is. Let's talk about what all this is. Let me expand this out right here. And let me drag this down right here and this over. All right. So this is the scanner in action. We're going to talk about what all this means. So everywhere you see one of these windows means that these are inputs or variables that you can alter or manipulate. So if we want to look for stocks by month right here, or if we want to look for stocks by symbol, we can see by symbol. And then if we want to find trends that say have lasted at least 85% of the time, you can put 70, 75, 90, whatever. If you want to look for only bullish scans, bearish scans, or both, you want to find trades that have lasted at least 10 days, but no more than 40, or maybe at least 3 days, but no more than 7, you can do all that. If you want to look at for at least 5 years of data, 2 years, 10 years, you hit the search button and you're going to get your results. So based on this criteria, it yielded 414 results. Now that you have these results, we have all of our output. Every one of these columns here are sortable. All you need to do is click on each column, and you can see here that they are sortable. If you want by start date, score, so on and so forth. And you can also, let me go here, you can also choose your sort priority. So my sort priority is start on open, which takes precedence over score, which takes precedence over company. If you want to eliminate some of the things that you see in the column, you can do that, add or remove various functions. And you can see here, you've got your start date, end date, win percent, calendar days, average profit in dollar or percent terms, max drawdown in percent and dollar terms, biggest profit, max gain, max drawdown, total wins, total trading days, total historical profit in percent, dollars, so on and so forth. And you'll notice too that each time I click on one of these, this data down below is also populating. So if we click with this first one, this is your equity curve. This is based on trading 100 shares of MDLZ every year since its historical inception. In this case, going back to 06 or 14 years. If you traded 100 shares of this on its suggested entry date, exit date every year since 06, this is what your equity curve would look like. And this is customizable. If you want to change it to 500 shares or 1,000 shares, or even do it based on dollar amount. So say $2,500 invested or $1,000 invested, you can do that too. And your results will obviously change. Here is a year-by-year table. Think of it like a candlestick. The highest of the wick is your max equity during the life of the trade. The low wick here is your max drawdown during the life of the trade. So we've had pretty little drawdown with the exception here in 2010 and 2018. And of course, this is where we ended in profit for that particular trade. We want to see a average risk reward table. Obviously, the more green you're going to see, the better risk reward this particular trade is. And then here's a year-by-year breakdown of your begin date, begin price, end date, end price with your max drawdown and your closed P&L. This is very useful to get an idea of where to perhaps place your stops and or place your limits or your targets to take profit. Now, let's say that just for this example purposes, that we like these first three green: MBLZ, McDonald's, and Williams. So we're going to place a check mark on each of those, and then we're going to go to add to step 2. That moves those trades over to the portfolio tab. And so now that once we're in the portfolio tab, here is where we can run our neural network scanner. And that's all found here under user preferences. Under conservative, you can check conservative, moderate, or aggressive, and you can read about how all that is calculated right there. And here is where you can put your allocation preferences, like I was saying earlier. If you want to put in a balance, it could be a hypothetical balance, a demo account, or it could be your real account, your IRA, taxable account, trust account, rollover 401k, whatever it is. And do you want all of these calculations? As you can see here, 100 I think is the default. You could put 100 shares, 200 shares, or if you wanted to do it by dollar, say I want to allocate 5% per trade on my $20,000, you could do that as well, okay? And then that's when you would hit filter, and that's going to run neural network scans across hundreds of proprietary things in the background based on technical and fundamental analysis, what's gone on in the past, obviously, as well as what's going on in the current market environment. Now, what you can do inside the portfolio tab is also double click on the chart, and you can see how it's done in the past or what it is doing now. So this is a quote unquote live trade with a suggested end date of May 12. So we don't have an end, an end marker. So if we had maybe a short here and it said an end date of March 17th, you would have an end line right there. Okay, you can see same for all of these. Now, let's say that we only like McDonald's and Williams. We don't want this one here. We can then add that to trade alerts. We go to the trade alert tab, and now here we can build our own custom alert schedule. We can have these alerts come to us a day before, 5 days before, 10 days before, and they can come to you via email or SMS text, depending on what you put here. You put your email address there to have them sent to your email, or you put your phone number there to have them sent to you via SMS text. And it's really as easy as that. Let's go to settings. This search right here was based on scans of the S&P 500. If you drop down here, you'll notice that we've got the NASDAQ, the Dow, ETFs, and various sectors that you can run scans on. Okay, so if we want to look for consumer goods, we could see that there's 340 symbols in consumer goods. We put in our criteria and hit search. You can even create your own custom groups, save those, and then run those periodically at your choosing. All right, so is everybody following me so far? Does that make sense? And the same steps, rules, logic apply whether you're looking at futures or Forex. So let's go back to our example here on TDG. So we did what we just talked about, running this scan on, and we found a trade on TDG. Highest score is 5, lowest score is 0.01. That doesn't mean that those 0.01s or the red scoring stocks or symbols are bad apples. It's just a lower probability trade. In fact, I find some really good nuggets that have this quote unquote bad score. So we found this trade on TDG. We liked what we saw, 90% win rate, 10 years of data, average profit, $1,200, average drawdown about 5%. Hey, I like that trade. But let's go to the chart. So when I went to the chart, I see this. We're consolidating. We're trading. We're not only consolidating, but we're also stuck between the 50 and 100-day moving average. So it's very simple. What I do, I just draw a little rectangle around this, and I waited for a breakout. We started to get some bullish momentum here on this big green candle. Finally broke out above the 50-day moving average, out of the congestion channel, and that's where we got long TDG. We could buy the stock We can buy call options. We can sell out of money put spreads, whatever your style of trading is. And here's what I was referring to earlier. Here was the suggested start date, and that's where the stock ended in that trade. That was what, $450 up to about $530. Here's another case study on MAC. Bearish trade. It's on the lower end of the spectrum regarding score, 1.77. Doesn't mean we have to write it off. We have a start date of around, can you read that? 510, end date of around 624, 92% win rate. Everybody would kill for win percentages above 90%. Average profit's been about 700 bucks. Average drawdown about 3% there. We see what it's done on a year-by-year basis. We have this one losing year, very small drawdown. We like it. Let's go to a chart. Went to a chart. Well, first thing I like is MAC is trading in a downtrend. We're below the 200, 150, but it's trading a little counter trend. You see we got up bar, up bar, up bar. So no worries. I'm waiting for confirmation. I love these counter trend moves. Here we get this counter trend, and we get a bearish reversal candle, bearish reversal print at the 50-day moving average. That's our sign to get short MAC. We sell MAC, we buy put spreads, we sell call spreads. Whatever style of trading fits your preference, that's how we take advantage of these moves. Cocoa, bullish trade on cocoa, start date of around June 3 and date of around July 15th. Over 12 years, 92% win rate, and average profits a little over $1,000 a contract. We take a look here. We see the year-by-year breakdown. We see our max drawdown and average drawdown over the life of the trade. We go to the daily chart. Again, here's where we see that counter trend move. We got down, 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 down. I love it because we know that we're approaching a high probability seasonality period. So here we come down, we pierce into the 50 and 100-day moving averages. We put in a bullish pin bar or reversal candle here, and we get a follow through the next day. And that's where we buy cocoa futures. We buy call options, sell put options, or even participate in the ETF, which is NIB, N-I-B. Here's another case study on Forex. Pound yen, high scoring trade, bullish trade. Start date of around 9/8, end date of around 9/19, 86% win rate. Average profit's been almost $3,000. Let's go and see what's going on here. And we can see year by year the max draw and the closed P&L. Pretty large max draw there. I'm pretty sure this was around Brexit, so hopefully that's when the common sense aspect would come in. Stay away from the pound and currencies during the uncertainty of the Brexit decision. But regardless, it's been a profitable trade the rest of the time. Now, overall trend is down, but we're clearly going higher. We got huge buying volume coming in, put in a large bullish reversal candle here at the 50-day. We power through, and that is our signal to get long. Notice that the suggested exit date was around 9/19. What happens? This is 9/19. What happens right here? It topped out and ended up selling off. If you didn't respect the suggested exit date or suggest your exit, your trailing stop methodologies, you would have given back all of your gains and maybe even lost money there. So to recap, let's talk about what we've covered. You're introduced to the powerful practice of using historical data to guide your trading behaviors. You also learned about the focus formula, what is literally my holy grail of trading to understand what data you must focus on and what you can't ignore. And you saw several different ways you could shorten the amount of time you spend analyzing charts, all while finding hundreds of high probability setups that you can take action on. But let me ask you a question. Now that you've heard several different ways allowing you to shorten the time you spend researching trades, how would you like to get access to this software, scanner, and alerts mentioned in the workshop? So I went into the lab because I had members and students clamoring for something like this, to build something like this. Hell, I even wanted something like this, a simple push button approach that would hand me high probability trades on a virtual silver platter, spoon feeding me like a baby. But let me ask you another question. What if we could shorten that learning curve and have someone scanning and trading by your side every day? So give me a 2 in the chat box if you'd like to see more. All right, I'm seeing some 2s, and so I'm going to show you what we're talking about. Awesome. So I mentioned letting technology do the heavy lifting is one method to speed up your historical research. But in addition to having your own software scanner, what if there was even more analysis spoon-fed to you? We're talking actionable trade alerts sent to you via email and SMS text. So starting in 2018, I began an alert service, and everybody that started the alerts or that was a member of the alert service basically got everything that you're seeing here that you're getting in addition to the scanner with precise entry, exit, and trade management details. So to give you a better idea, here are some examples of real trades that we've taken. Long natural gas, short Twitter, short Japanese yen. And we'll talk about the trades that we're in live right now and some of the insane profits that we've been taking over the last few weeks. So when it comes to the fastest method of research, having somebody do it for you is not just the fastest, it's pretty profitable. When you're given the symbol, the price, entry, exit, even alternative ideas for different asset classes, ETFs, futures, Forex, all account types, styles, and sizes. Here are some unsolicited testimonials. These are just a few of testimonials that I receive all the time. I don't ask for them. They come in, and I'm just really humbled and pleased that people are taking action and actually making a profit with the alerts, because that's the point, right? So I'm pleased to introduce to you the smartMARKET Scanner Premium Package. What is the smartMARKET Scanner Premium Package? Well, it's your time-saving solution to finding hundreds of high probability setups in only a few minutes each day, maybe only a few minutes each week. So I've been able to put together a special offer so that you have everything you need to take action on what you just learned. So let me share with you what you would be receiving in this package. First off is the smartMARKET Seasonal Software Bundle. It's actually 3 separate scanners in the bundle, one for stocks, one for futures, and one for Forex, as you just saw. And this is the exact same software you just saw me demonstrate. You'll have access to the exact same level of access to the tools that I do. It's going to help you identify seasonal trends that can be identified at a glance with a click of a button, all by pulling from decades upon decades of data. And as you've seen, it offers very detailed statistics showing you your optimal entry, optimal exit, optimal duration, only the most important information you need to make your decision. And it does the math for you, calculating your projected profit, your projected drawdown, your average daily profit, gains, drawdown, and more, including the sector and industry details. So with the smartMARKET Scanner Premium Package, you're going to get access to all 3 software programs included in the bundle. That's for stocks, futures, and Forex, as well as multiple training videos and strategy guides. Full access to all 3 software programs and the additional training, and that's valued at $596. Next, you're going to be given full access to the SST Pro Alert service. So with this service, you're going to be given high probability setups via both email and SMS text, as well as given a trade tracker Google Doc to keep track of all the wins and losses. So in that service, I analyzed over 100 stocks and ETFs, 35 plus commodity markets, and 35 currency markets. The real-time retail value of that is $1,167. So here are some real-life examples of trade alerts sent via email and SMS text. You're going to get access to all of this during the life of your membership. Again, we trade all markets, stocks, options, ETFs, futures, and Forex. We don't throw you out to the wolves. We don't leave you hanging out to dry. We're with you from beginning to end because we are trading these ourselves. And you can see that we literally leave no stone unturned. Also, you're going to be receiving monthly member bonus sessions where you can ask me questions directly live on the call. We run through scans, we look at charts, we discuss upcoming seasonality plays, both short and long-term opportunities, different strategies. These sessions are only available to members of my community. You're going to have access to this with your subscription. All are archived and placed in the members portal for your viewing convenience 24 hours a day. And I will tell you that our monthly member session is tomorrow, Thursday, April 9th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Also going to be providing exclusive members only scan updates and additional training videos showing you exactly what data I'm researching. These scan updates are provided every week. So part of this package, you're going to be receiving weekly additional current trainings from me. These weekly updates are valued at $3,900. So that's everything. smartMARKET Scanner Bundle, SST Pro Alert Service, monthly members only sessions, weekly scan updates plus videos, all valued at $8,052. Also want to include a few additional bonuses to reward those that are taking action. First is a chart pattern principle course. It's a 90+ page PDF guide with additional strategies, patterns, seasonal trends, and setups, and much, much more. It's valued at $297. Also going to include my 25 top option strategy guide. This is really helpful for those that are just dipping their toes in the world of options, from basic calls and puts to more intermediate advanced, such as condors, verticals, butterflies, etc., valued at $147. And for serious fast action takers, I've got one more special bonus, and that's VIP email support. So as I've said before, I handle my own email support. I do have a support team, but I do read and answer all of the flow that come in because I truly actually enjoy reading and getting feedback and communicating with my members and students. I get a lot of ideas from communicating with my students on how to improve the service, which actually benefits everybody. So this is the closest thing that I can offer to direct access to me, which is why VIP email support is truly limited, because there's only so much of me, so much time available in the day. So that brings the total value to the smartMARKET Scanner Premium Package to $8,893. But let me ask you, if all it did was help you improve your record to generate more wins and losses, what would that be worth? If all it did was allow you to unsubscribe to other tools and newsletters that you aren't even using, what would that be worth? If all it did was help you place 1 to 2 winning trades a month, what would that be worth to you? I'm obviously not going to charge you $8,893, even though we both agree that would be a fair price after looking at the software and past trades the service has delivered. I'm not even going to charge you half of that because I don't want cost to be a barrier. Already seen what the software can do, the probability of the alert service, how much time it can save you. Even just one profitable trade is likely to cover the entire cost of this investment, which is why today I want to make it affordable to everyone. I'm offering you a special live webinar price here of $347 a quarter. The offer link is seasonalswingtrader.com/VIP. I've never offered this at this price. It's seasonalswingtrader.com/VIP. It's $347 a quarter. So let's talk about, again, what all is included with this offer. The smartMARKET Scanner Premium Package for all 3 scanners: Smart Stocks, Smart Futures, Smart Forex. The SST Pro Alert Service via email and SMS text, monthly member only sessions, weekly scan and updates, chart pattern principle course, 25 top option strategy guide, and VIP email support. What about training? We're not going to just leave you hanging. Again, we don't believe in that. We actually like helping our people out. We've got 13 training videos broken down into bite-sized nuggets, plus a 40+ page printable PDF manual with the program guide that's going to go into precise detail of all of the inner workings of the software. All of this that you see here, all of this here, everything. These are broken down into 2, 3, and 4 minute modules. We don't need things lasting 45 minutes, an hour long. It's not that difficult. We made it simple for a reason. All right, and your bonuses, you're going to see all this in the members area. Here's your chart guide, your chart pattern cheat sheet, 25 top option strategy guide, ETF trading guide, and much, much more. So let's talk about the process again. It really is that simple. When we just boil down here, we're looking at what to trade. We're going to start by the month or the symbol. We're going to look at our winning percent, how much we want to risk. Do we want to be long, short, maybe flat? What is our ideal time frame? Are we interested in trading weeklies? Do we have a longer term time perspective, an intermediate term time perspective? Do we want to trade commodities, stocks, Forex or all the above. We scan and then we analyze together. So that is your offer here. Once again, seasonalswingtrader.com/VIP. I'm here to answer all of your questions, and I see we do have several here in the chat, so bear with me here. I'm going to try to make sure we get to all of those. And let me just scroll up here. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're going to take a look at the scanner again, and we'll take a look at some symbols there. This does not require any special data feed. That came up yesterday, so that is a good thing. It's broker agnostic. Does not require any special or specific broker data feed. You don't have to pay for any data. It's all included. All included. You will get the alert. You can still get the alerts from the scanners even if it is shut down. So if you're traveling, you obviously need to schedule them. So as we showed you here, over here, you'll need to schedule those alerts. So if you're traveling, you're on another, whatever, you're sitting at home on your couch, binging on something, and you'll get an alert if they're set up. Over here, so on the scanner, you can only choose to receive as SMS, text, or email. With the Pro Alert service, you do get SMS and email only if you choose to receive the SMS. It's not a requirement. I'm not going to blow you up unnecessarily if you don't want those. Paul, you can email me at support@seasonalswingtrader.com. Be happy to help you out there. We don't typically take PayPal, but we can make arrangements for you. So email me at support@seasonalswingtrader.com. Support@seasonalswingtrader.com. Yes, it's a quarterly, so it will auto renew every 90 days. If you, for some reason, don't want to continue, just shoot us an email and cancel before your renewal. No worries there. So we don't have a trade room, but let me tell you something that's really exciting. We are looking at starting I'm going to try to phrase this correctly, a chat room. It's kind of like, so if you're familiar, like Skype, Slack, Telegram, things like that. This is called Discord. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Discord, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that as Slack, but we're looking at starting a Discord room, and it's really there for you guys. So it's a community that all of the members can come in, share ideas. I mean, you saw here, this is 400 some odd results, and that's only based on this criteria. But when you're talking across stocks, futures, Forex, we've got so many ideas flowing in so many different ways that people are trading them, whether you're trading the underlying, the options, credit spreads, debit spreads, outrights. There's a lot of different options. So we want to create a community here where people can come in and banter back and forth about ideas. It's all there to help one another, help one another find good, actionable, high quality trades. We're already doing that now, but we like the community aspect where people can come in and talk about different ideas. So as far as options go, this is only going to provide you the underlying. So, McDonald's, Sherwin-Williams, corn, wheat, whatever. You will need to create an option idea around that if you choose to do so, if options trading is your thing. Now, we'll provide options ideas occasionally, depending on the market environment. credit spreads primarily, sometimes, outright call purchases or outright put purchases. How many trade alerts per month? Well, you can have as many trade alerts as you wish, depending on what you're looking for. Here, depending on if you're looking across all futures, all stocks, all Forex, you can have enough alerts sent out to you to keep you quite busy for a while. Now, as far as the number or quantity of alerts that I'll send out aside from what the scanner is producing, and remember, this scanner is unique to you and your computer. So, if you're putting in 80% of the time, 7 years of history, at least 10 trading days, no more than 30, that's unique to you. While Bob, on the other hand, and I don't mean to call anybody out if there's a Bob in here, and there is, they may have different criteria. So I will do the update. I send that out on Sundays, usually Sunday mornings when I can. Let's take a look at, make sure this is the members area here. Okay, so when you log in, you're gonna go to smartMARKET Scanner Premium. This is this page. Here's where you're gonna download each of your platforms. Here's the training manual. Here's all of your videos. There's even one down here for day trading with the smartMARKET Scanner. I don't use it I don't use seasonality to day trade. I know that there are best days of the week to do this and that, or times of the day to do this and that. I don't really incorporate seasonality into day trading. I have other strategies that I use there. I use seasonality more for intermediate to longer term type trading. As far as the other product that you get access to, which is SST Pro Alert Service, you're going to go back up to products and go to SST Pro, and I'll show you what that looks like. And I've also got a tab here. I'll show you what that looks like. So in this members area, here's where you're going to sign up for SMS text. Here's a welcome email here, how to trade the alerts, PDF and video. Here is our open close strategies. So this is what we send out every week, typically on Sundays. Here's our seasonal sector, commodity corner, commentary analysis. Here's our scans. Here are open ideas there, and then we have a complete archive here. And oops, something happened here. We have a rolling 3-month archive there in the equities, and then we have our futures archive listed in here, and then we have other resources and guides, futures monthly symbol guide. Actually, let me move. So this is the sheet. All right, this is a lot easier. With all the tick values, what's optional, what's not, and then an ETF or ETN guide. I know a lot of you are not trading the futures or commodities, but I would encourage you to learn a little bit about them, and we'll probably have some courses down the road more tailored to commodities and futures for those that want to learn about them, learn about options on futures, option selling, things like that. But we have put in ETFs, comparable ETFs that track the underlying. So if you find a high probability trade on the Aussie dollar, you can trade FXA. The bond, you trade TLT. Corn, there's an ETF, CORN. Of course, energies, metals, meats, so on and so forth. Here's how to kind of read, understand what we're sending out and understanding the scanner. And this is the ETF guide right there. So we've got a lot of information in there for you, and I'm always an email away if you want to reach out and ask questions. And then we're really excited about this new chat feature that we're kind of in beta testing mode right now. All right, so yeah, what I wanted to do is take a look at a couple of markets here based on the scanner. And so what we're going to do tomorrow, hopefully everybody that's joined, and I appreciate that Glenn and Stan and Beth and Bill T for joining. What we're going to do tomorrow, one, you're going to get a welcome email. We're starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to start high level, look at seasonality coming here into April, the effects of, what's going on, kind of globally, with what's already happened from a, from a technical standpoint, how it's going to affect seasonality going forward by each sector. And then we're going to dive into the scans. We've got a whole list of our scans. I've already got them loaded up here, and this is acting funky. I don't know what? Oh, I think I'm signed out. So anyway, I've got our April scans built in here. A couple markets, that we're watching. I don't know if this is going to play nicely with me, but so hogs, we went limit down for like 4 or 5 days based off obviously the coronavirus news and the demand, but we went long some fairly cheap call options to take advantage of what's going on, and knowing that from a seasonal perspective, we have a high probability trade going into the summer months in meats. So there is an ETF for that you can trade if you don't want to trade cattle, live cattle, or hogs or hog options. Another market that I'm watching closely here from a seasonal and technical standpoint is July corn. We know also that we don't want to be short. These are at some really good prices. There's some good buys to be had in a couple of the grain markets. And again, you can trade, maybe you're not set up to trade futures or you have no interest, no worries. You can trade corn to ETF, very cheap, $12.50. I mean, most of us can afford to pick up some shares of that. The options on some of these are a little dicey just because of liquidity and things, so you need to be careful about that. But the point is, you have many quote unquote options. You don't have to just think, oh no, he's trading the Canadian dollar, which we are in. Oops, I'm gonna do that. Let's see. What is the Canadian dollar? 6C. I thought it was 6C. So right now we are in the Canadian dollar. We're long from down here at 69.15. We've got lots of profits baked in. There's actually probably another trade set up right now, but we're already long. And you could have traded, FXC, the ETF that tracks the Canadian dollar. So you don't have to panic. Oh, he's trading the Canadian dollar. I'm not set up to do that. If you're trading Forex, just go into the US CAD. Now it's going to be opposite, because in the Canadian dollar position that we just showed you, it will be long Canadian dollar. The US CAD is you're shorting the US dollar, long the Canadian dollar. So you'll be shorting where we got long on Canadian dollar. This is where you'd be shorting, the kind of the equivalent there. A couple of others, that we're watching. I mean, this is just literally only a handful based on the scans. I'm going to be going through all of these tomorrow. Target, there's an upcoming bearish seasonality trade in Target. Let me see if we can find that. All right, so here's our results, and we've got a bearish trade coming up here in Target on around April 14th, lasting into May 21st. So it's about a 40-day calendar trade, 90% win rate. And, we're trading down here below all the moving averages. And what I'm looking for is rejection here at trend line resistance, and or some of this price structure here between the 50 and 618. be looking for some type of reversals. So that's just to give you kind of an idea of how we approach things. I find a lot of trades just by scanning through my watch list, but obviously I'm generating a ton of ideas using the smartMARKET scanner. And then I'll go into the charts and do my technical analysis. Yeah, you can download. So the license is really only available for one computer, but we'll be happy to work with you there if you want to shoot me a separate email and let me know. We'll get you another license. Yeah, if you want to just use it for Forex, you absolutely can just use it for Forex, and that would apply to any of these asset classes. We understand that not everybody is trading every asset class. I do, but that's fine. Do as you wish there. You should have received a welcome email already, Michelle. So you should have received, you might allow it a couple minutes or so, maybe check your spam. It should not be landing in your spam folder, but if it is, just check that. If you're having problems, let me know, we'll hook you up. We do have an annual deal that is a lot sweeter than this. So if you're interested in the annual deal, email me at support@seasonalswingtrader.com. What is the track record? Well, the track record is, I mean, you can come in and see the track record for yourself, depending on what markets you're looking at and how you trade it. I mean, everybody trades things differently. So, if we got short target, it all depends on how you're trading it. Are you shorting the stock? Are you buying put spreads, buying puts, selling call spreads? Where are you getting in? Where are you getting out? Everybody manages their trades differently, trades different sizes. So wherever you're scaling in, scaling out, all depends by the individual. We got a lot of folks that by learning of this service, they gain an interest in futures and commodities, which I love. That's where I got my start in. That's kind of my first love. And now they're dipping their toes in using micro contracts and mini contracts. And all that is here in this section. Let me see here, under future symbols. So you can see which markets here have minis and micros. A lot of them now have minis and or micros. So like grains, energies, metals. The only ones that really don't are the meats and the softs. So I trade full contract there or options. And then the 30-year bond is a little too rich with $31.25 a tick. You can trade the 10-year note, which is going to track the 30-year bond, but it's half the tick size. How many screens do I suggest? Really, it's just up to you and what you're kind of looking at and analyzing. I mean, you can get by with one screen. Hell, I mean, I think two is at a minimum is probably what you should strive for. I've got different setups. Actually, I the setup with 3 monitors on one desk and 3 monitors on another desk. So I've got my PC over here that's running, constantly running scans and quotes and things like that, different platforms. And then a laptop with 2 monitors doing just day-to-day stuff and kind of scanning the charts. But really, you just need one screen to do your scans, and you can schedule the alerts and be done with it, or you can write them down on a piece of paper, or what you can also do is take your results and let me go like this, future or Forex. Let's say I wanted to take these first, whatever, 10 or 15. You can right click and copy and paste those into an Excel document, which is pretty cool. And then once you have that data, then you would just then what I like to do is, so I'll take these, take the ones I like, after I build my portfolio, then I will take those and copy those into an Excel doc. And then what I'll do then, and this was not functioning for me correctly, I think I'm logged out, but I'll build my own custom watch list. And I'm not logged in, that's why it's acting weird. But you can put, April scans or April bull scans, or you can do the same thing in Thinkorswim or probably TradeStation and Ninja and other platforms. Yep, no problem. All right, guys, I think I've answered everything, all the questions. If I've missed any, let me know. I didn't do it on purpose, but if I miss anything, email me, support@seasonalswingtrader.com with any of your questions. I'm around here for a little bit, so I'll answer you immediately as I go through each of them. So I look forward to all the guys and gals that have joined, coming to the service. This thing's only going to get better. We're going to continue adding things, features, content, value as best we can. And we're excited about, building out, perhaps this Discord chat thing, maybe eventually a Facebook group where people can get together and talk about ideas and help each other out. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I know I certainly did. The offer link again is seasonalswingtrader.com/VIP. Thank you, Craig. Look forward to seeing everybody in the members area. And for everybody that joined, again, we'll have our member session tomorrow morning. So be there bright and early. And we'll look forward to finding some good trades together. All right, guys, y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next update. Take care.